Perfect. So I know one of the questions that we get a lot is, as we're talking about general liability insurance, especially for the general contractor, we just, well, what's your subcontractor cost? Well, why do I have to pay for subcontractors coverage if my subcontractors have insurance? So can you touch a little bit about for general liability for a general contractor, why we have to take into account the subcontractors and making sure that we're rating for the amount of work that they're doing for you?
Yeah, well, that's kind of opening a can of worms there, because we're going to touch on that. Kind of touches on several different exclusions and coverages that are important to contractors. So the first thing is that there's a nice little give back if you're a general contractor. So like we said, the property damage is only for third-party property. It excludes your work, right? So if I'm a roofer and I put on a bad roof and there's water damage to the whole house, it doesn't pay to fix the roof. It only pays for the rest of the house. However, if I'm a general contractor, that whole home is my house. So what's it really covering? Well, there's a give back in most policies. You want to make sure this isn't excluded, but there's a give back for work done by subs. So if you are a home builder and you build a home and the foundation's done wrong, the foundation guy doesn't have coverage to fix that. But if you are covering that subcontractor, if you don't have a subcontractor exclusion for that, your policy will actually pay for that foundation coverage. So that's why it's important to have that coverage. The other thing too is if you get sued because of your roofer's employee falls off the roof and that person sues you, well, you don't want to have a bodily injury to a subcontractor exclusion on there. You can try to hand that off through indemnification, but we'll talk about some other exclusions, here as we get into it, where that might not be picked up on your sub. If you don't have proper indemnification, that if there's a bodily injury on your job site, if you're a general contractor, that you're going to have coverage for that.
And let's remember,